Hey, I'm Chris, and in this video, I'll explain 5 questions and why you should be asking them before every game of Warhammer 40k. These 5 questions will help you gain a better picture of what the game should look like and help you with all aspects of the game, from deployment, movement, and target priority. Do you have any redeployments, and when do they redeploy? This is very important to know, especially against very aggressive style armies. Knowing that they can redeploy, how many units they can redeploy, and whether it is before or after the roll to see who goes first, can really change where you deploy your units. You may be able to set up a screening unit to block your opponent's movements, or deploy more defensively, not to get caught out if you do not go first. Do you have any units that have the infiltrator ability? This question can decide whether you want to be the attacker or the defender, as the defender gets to place their first unit, and if you also have units with the infiltrator ability, you want to deploy first, as infiltrators cannot be set up within 9 inches of any enemy units. This can be very strong if you also have a redeploy in your army. If you are the defender, you can use an infiltrator unit deployed very aggressively to block other infiltrators, then redeploy them into your deployment zone, somewhere safe. The other reason you want to know about infiltrators is you want to understand where your opponent may deploy them and ensure you don't position your units in an area that could put them in danger. What are the threat ranges on your strongest units? This helps for deployment and for your subsequent turns. Knowing where you need to be to stop your opponent from causing your units damage can really alter how your opponent needs to play. Knowing these distances can also really help making your plan and assessing how much risk and damage you are willing to take. Knowing if you move onto that objective that units X and Y will have shots or easy charges into you next turn is great information to keep track of throughout the game. If you are enjoying this content and want to see more, please consider liking the video and subscribing so you know when my next video goes out. Anyway, on to question 4. What lone operatives do you have, and can you make anything untargetable? Knowing how close you need to get to target certain units is obviously incredibly valuable. But if you are unaware that a unit has lone operative or can become untargetable by a stratagem or ability, and you set up to shoot it outside of 12 inches, and then you find out you can't shoot it, could cause you to lose a unit for no purpose. This can be punishing, so I personally like to ask my opponents pretty much every turn if they have lone operatives and where they are, just to refresh my memory so I don't forget. Now on to the final question I always ask before every game of Warhammer 40k I play. Any rules your army has, or any got-yas that I should be aware of in your army? Now this is probably the best question to ask if you really don't know the faction you're about to play against, and you really need to learn as much as you can with one question. This is the one to ask. Asking this also covers up some of the other questions we have already asked, so it's a good all-rounder to finish your short quiz to your opponent. If you forgot any of the other questions, they might bring it up here anyway. So simply ask what movement tricks, combat shenanigans, crazy combos they have, and they'll most likely tell you. Well, that's my list of questions I always ask my opponents before every game. Let me know in the comment section down below what questions you ask your opponents. Well, that's it from me. Catch you guys next time. Bye.